the real reason for The Rock's 20-minute promo on social media, an AEW star has gone from the company, and my review of last night's Monday Night Raw. Listen up, Slapnuts. This is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Before last Friday's SmackDown, Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, released a 16-minute video to social media, which he then deleted, and uploaded an even longer 21-minute director's cut that ran down Cody Rhodes, his dog, Seth Rollins, the Cody Crybabies, and a whole lot more, with a whole lot of swearing. It was a tremendous promo that was a great reminder of why The Rock is the great one and one of the best promos of all time, especially when he can just let loose and be heel Rocky. And it built to a SmackDown segment that went nearly 40 minutes in total, which reportedly went 10 minutes over time according to Fightful Select, which meant that Naomi's match with Tiffany Stratton was cut short and some other things were cut entirely, which is hilarious if Dave Meltzer's latest report is to be believed. When discussing the promo on Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer said that those in WWE told him that the reason The Rock did a 21-minute promo to promote his 40-minute promo on SmackDown was because he was told he wasn't going to be given enough time on SmackDown. Meltzer initially didn't believe what he was being told, so, according to him, he asked someone high up in WWE, and they said it was true. Meltzer was told Rock can't get as much time as he wants, because apparently 40 minutes just wasn't enough. Meltzer also notes in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE are now seeing The Rock's heel turn as a blessing in disguise, as it's drawn so much more media coverage and attention. He also notes that because of the reaction and media coverage that The Rock has been getting since coming back, has meant he will probably do more now and stick around post-WrestleMania to set up his eventual match with Roman Reigns. Over to AEW now, and following their spectacular Revolution pay-per-view on Sunday, there was a surprising yet not all that surprising bit of news. Fans noticed that Mike Santana had been removed from the AEW roster page, and Fightful Select were able to confirm that he is officially done with the company, finishing up with AEW last week. Fightful add that Santana hasn't been seen at an AEW show for months, following a turbulent final year or so with the company. He tore his ACL during the 2022 Blood and Guts match and missed over a year of action before returning for the Stadium Stampede match at All In last year. He feuded with his former tag partner Ortiz, who he had a real-life falling out with, and beat him on Rampage in October. He's not been on TV since, despite still being an active member of the independent scene. When Santana and Ortiz signed with All Elite Wrestling, there was a tremendous amount of buzz about them, as they were an exceptional team who'd had tremendous success in TNA as the new version of LAX, as well as on the independent scene. However, that was never truly captured in AEW, with the pair being part of Chris Jericho's Inner Circle and never capturing tag gold in the company. But in other news, Monday Night War Season 4 is coming back this Friday, and Pete Quinnell had some things to say about that yesterday, so now it's time to hear from me and my expectations for this season.
Oh, Scene Queen, you marvelous, marvelous, magical human being. Your music has carried me through this series.
Oh, hello there. I'm actually glad that you're here and that I'm listening to Scene Queen,
Because Scene Queen has carried me to exactly where I want to be in the Monday Night War. You see, people think that I've been making mistakes, making simple errors, making stupid choices, making thicko deluxe decisions. And that is where you have got it wrong, because I have been playing 4D chess this entire time. I'm not on a quest for first. I've been where I've always been destined to be, second. And now I am on a path for the 4-peat of second place. And this time, it won't be last place. Say it with me now, everyone. The rallying cry of Monday Night War. Second place, second place, second place, second place, second place, second place, second place. Second place, second place, and now it's time for my review of Monday Night Raw, aka the just watch SmackDown edition of Monday Night Raw in about 5 minutes. After a big recap of the Rock and Bloodline promo from SmackDown, Cody Rhodes opened this week's edition of Raw to bring out Seth Rollins for their response. Seth said that he had a story of his own to finish, and he wants to make sure that Roman Reigns doesn't get all of the power that he desires in WWE, and again, reiterates that he has Cody's back. He even came up with a new name for The Rock,
Diarrhea Dwayne. Yes, it's lame, but that's also the point. It's supposed to sound lame as it's a jab at The Rock and the sort of childish nicknames he comes up with for people. Seth even hammered that point home by saying The Rock hasn't been cool for 20 years. He added that he'll be on SmackDown this Friday, and Cody said he will do the same. So the TLDR version of this 20-minute promo was, watch SmackDown this Friday for, presumably, another 20-minute promo. Which, is fine, but it sort of made this portion of this excellent pro wrestling story feel like when I was having arguments with people on forums in the mid-2000s. And, sometimes you'd have to wait a couple of days to get a response from the person in another country that you're arguing with, and then you get caught up with something like your school studies or university studies, and then you take you a couple of days to respond as well. Gunther beat Dominic Mysterio like he owed him money, and it was everything you'd want the match to be. Gunther dominated, Dom got in some lucky moves and some fluky near falls, and Gunther murdered him with chops, powerbombs, and Boston Crabs. 5 stars. However, the bigger talking point out of this was that both Michael Cole and Pat McAfee shouted out Sting in his final match at AEW Revolution, which was a very classy move. Cody made a reference to it in his opening promo, but this was a full-on acknowledgement of the match. Isn't it nicer when everyone just gets along? Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark beat the Party Girls in a fine little match. With Damage Control watching from ringside, they'll have a tag title match next week, despite Damage Control already having a tag title match for tonight's NXT. Guess we know who's winning that one then, eh? The rest of the women's tag scene had various conversation in one larger scene about not getting on, with Candice LeRae insulting Maxine Dupree and Indy Hartwell apologizing for her. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax were having a very good match until, as I predicted last week, Liv Morgan caused a DQ and argued with Becky after the match. Nia laid both of them out, and backstage Becky and Liv argued some more to make a match for next week, while Rhea laughed at the whole situation. I'm glad that Liv is getting some focus heading into WrestleMania, but I feel like it's distracting from the Becky versus Rhea match at WrestleMania. Unless, of course, it is going to end up being a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania, and if it does, that would beg the question, well, what was the point of Elimination Chamber then? Speaking of focusing on WrestleMania, and we now have some direction for the Intercontinental Championship. After being decimated by Gunther, Dom was being checked on by Judgment Day, and Damian Priest told JD McDonough that he needs to take care of this Gunther problem. We also had Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura chat with Adam Pearce about wanting their shots at the title, and Pearce announced that on next week's show, it'll be a 6-man gauntlet match to determine the #1 contender to Gunther at Mania. Ricochet versus Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus JD McDonough. Sami cut a promo saying that his Rocky Story WrestleMania path has been revealed, which would really set him up to be the winner for next week. However, Chad Gable cut a promo on Gunther later in the show about him making his child cry with a smile on his face last September, so he wants to take that smile and put it on his little girl. For the others, it's just about the title, but for him, it's so much more. Listen, I love Sami Zayn and I want to see him get a big match at WrestleMania, but is anyone else wanting Chad to win next week? His story, though it has been ignored since last September, is so much more interesting than Sami Zayn's Rocky angle that WWE have been having him do. Let's hear it in the comments. Sami or Chad, what do you want? Andrade made his return to Raw, as did Apollo Crews, and the former beat the latter in about 3 minutes. Thanks for coming, Apollo. Andrade seems to be interested in luring Dom away from Judgment Day. Speaking of Judgment Day, and they beat Imperium in a tremendous match. But if you'd book this on MyGM mode on WWE 2K24, Triple H would send you an email the following week admonishing you for booking a heel versus heel match, and it would have really hurt your drama curve. But it actually works IRL. They basically let the crowd pick a side, and that crowd decided to go with Judgment Day, who played up as being baby faces, and Priest got the win with the South of Heaven. Michael Cole explained that Priest's new gimmick is that he's pissed off. He's pissed off because people don't think he'll ever cash in the briefcase or be a world champion. And later on in the show, Regeneration X played 2K24, and Miz said he wanted to go for those tag titles. They announced Paul Heyman for the Hall of Fame, and Drew McIntyre called Seth Rollins a spotlight junkie who's ignoring both Raw and the World Championship, both of which deserve better. Once again, tell him when he's telling lies. Sami Zayn beat Ivar in a fine little match, with most of the focus being on Michael Cole being given the Antlers by Valhalla, and Bronson Reed attacked Sami after the match. And the main event saw Drew McIntyre pin Jey Uso after a distraction from Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa had also come out, but he was chased off by Cody Rhodes, and Drew used the Jimmy distraction to hit the Claymore for the win. Again, taking advantage of the Bloodline distractions, but that was not the focus of his character for this week, as Seth flew past him to take out Jimmy, and Drew used this lack of focus on him to hit the Claymore and stand tall. It capped off a very entertaining but entirely missable episode of Monday Night Raw. The wrestling was good, the promos were good, the show was good. It's just SmackDown appears to be the focus right now. This week's Raw is 3 out of 5. Ahead of the launch of Season 4 of Monday Night War this Friday on Parts of Unknown, check out me and Pete getting our first look at the new and improved My GM mode.